I also think that the Caribbean consists of some of the most resourceful and resilient people on earth. And I think because we're small, we're able to adapt and adopt new technologies, for example, and solutions that will help us to build resilience and sustainability.
Fintech can connect and advance the Caribbean region in innovative new ways. This includes the introduction of central bank digital currencies as well as the Caribbean Settlement Network.
A central bank digital currency is just simply a country's national dollar becoming digital. And in becoming digital, it represents itself as a digital cash. And I use the word cash because if you were to open your wallet and look at that physical note, that $100 bill, that's cash. That's issued and created by your central bank. And they're the ones that set the policies and procedures and the fiscal arrangements around how that dollar functions within your society. That doesn't change. What changes is instead of you opening your wallet from your back pocket or your purse and taking out that physical $100 note, you're now pulling out your mobile phone and looking at a representation of that $100 note, but digitally.
Traditionally, the bricks and mortar model of banking has become more and more difficult for the average person to access. Some people, for example, don't have two forms of government issued ID and therefore cannot access banking. And so a central bank digital currency gives people the power and the opportunity to be able to access financial services on a mobile device such as a phone, a smartphone or a tablet. In this region, we have countries where they're being unbanked and financial inclusion is not so high, but there are countries where 75% of the population in some instances are unbanked. And a whopping 85% of the world's financial transactions are conducted in cash. Now, if you think about the cost that represents and the risk that represents, so being able to steadily reduce our cash usage is going to be of a significant advantage to this region. And furthermore, specifically with respect to remittances, remittances are a lifeline for the world's poorest and are projected to reach $500 billion US, but roughly 10 to 15% of these remittance transactions are actually lost to fees. Now, might not sound like a lot to us, 10 to 15% of remittances being lost to fees. But to the poorest people, I remember speaking to a gentleman in the Cayman Islands who's from Jamaica and working in a hotel, and he told me he pays 15 to 20 US dollars to send money back home to Jamaica. And I said, if you could do this for free, and you did not have to pay 10 to 20 US for this transaction, what difference would it make to you? And he said to me, that's the difference between my children going to bed hungry or with their bellies full. So it does make a big difference to the most vulnerable in our society.
A digital currency is an electronic or virtual version of paper currency. And a central bank digital currency is when it is issued by the central bank in the same way that our currencies are at the moment. It actually provides a few important advantages. One is it has a zero cost of marginal production. To produce additional units of it don't require any printing and transportation. But that's the least of the advantages. One big advantage is that it is the basis to have more persons being sort of included in the banking system. Financial inclusion, they call it. And when more people are part of the sort of official banking and financial system, then it opens opportunities for them to be more productive. But the real benefit of central bank issued digital currencies is what is the potential for for it to allow seamless and cheaper cross-border transactions between countries.
Today, we propose to furnish you with some details on this historic undertaking, the launch of our pilot for the issuance of a digital Eastern Caribbean dollar. At this juncture in our history of development of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, we must, in the words of Bob Black, the American author, march off the edge of our maps.